What's the good word, Josh? Your boy DKB here. So we have Hall of Famer Randy Moss, currently ESPN analyst, I believe, and he hasn't lost faith in his New York Jets team whatsoever. So he was guest streaming, I guess, on the Rich Eisen show. Happened to pop in real quick while he was golfing to give his thoughts, and he originally predicted the New York Jets and the Philadelphia Eagles would meet in the Super Bowl, and he doubled down on that. He doesn't think just because Aaron Rodgers is out of the picture now for the season that means the New York Jets can't still reach the Super Bowl, which is huge to me. For one, obviously from his past accomplishments, him being a football player, he knows what a championship caliber team looks like. So it's nice to kind of have that reinforcement from somebody with his accolades and background. Two, it was interesting to me because we've heard Garrett Wilson be one of the most vocal supporters of Zach Wilson from the moment that Aaron Rodgers went down, which is huge for us because not only did we have a little bit of the blow up last year, but he was kind of the main antagonist at one point last season for Zach Wilson potentially losing his job outside of his defense comment. So it was interesting to see Randy Moss's perspective on what that would look like, right? Obviously, as a guy that wants to be fed the ball, has that alpha mentality, all of the same things that we're going to see in Garrett Wilson. We didn't get any enlightening, earth-shattering stuff, right? Randy Moss pretty much jumped in. He said, just because Aaron Rodgers out doesn't mean that the team can't still reach the Super Bowl. If Zach Wilson does, the same memo that we had out for last year, become a game manager. Don't cause many mistakes. Go out there, make your plays. You have a defense around you that's elite, and you have the run game to support you. You pretty much have to do the bare minimum to give your team a pretty good shot every week to go out there and win. And so the New York Jets are definitely going to have to tap back into our historic DNA, elite run game, and elite defense, and we'll couple that with a quarterback that we haven't really had as often, right? Zach Wilson has more physical tools than we've seen out of a guy like Mark Sanchez, out of guys like Sam Darnold, but the skill set may not necessarily be the same, and so this will be purely a job for the coaching staff, right? Last year, we lost complete confidence in Zach Wilson. We lost complete confidence in Mike LaFleur, Rob Calabrese. And so getting Nathaniel Hackett in, getting Todd Downing in, who we talked about is, both of these guys throughout the entirety of their career as an offensive coordinator and as a quarterback guru. In Todd Downing's case, they have immediately improved the team around them on the offensive side at their respective positions. And so I feel really confident that you can see the same thing here. We also got, an offseason with Aaron Rodgers being intimately involved with all aspects of the team. We have Zach Wilson, confirming himself that, he's been following him around like a puppy, if you will. They got that whole little brother, big brother type situation going on. And so he's talked about emulating and copying what Aaron Rodgers can do. None of us believe that will actually happen, right? If it does, we'll be pleasantly surprised. But this is definitely still a chance for Zach Wilson to essentially reset. We're going to focus on the things that he does really well. I believe Nathaniel Hackett was caught off guard, obviously, last week. You spend an entire offseason prepping for, Aaron Rodgers' skill set, what he can do, what he loves to do on an offense. And now you have to flip the book and, try to do what's going to be in the best interest of Zach Wilson, which from a run game perspective isn't going to be, any harder or different than what it already was per se. I shouldn't say harder. Obviously, we're going to be seeing stacked boxes till Zach Wilson proves otherwise. But the run game is going to be what the run game is. From a playbook perspective, we're going to have to see if we can gradually shift from these two to 3 tight end sets that we were seeing last week into more of the 3 wide receiver sets that Aaron Rodgers was wanting, which was a huge reason why we also didn't see Mecole Hardman whatsoever last week. And so, we accumulated all these weapons. We want to be able to use them. But at the end of the day, we're looking at essentially the same team as last year. We're just expecting internal improvements, and so things should be better. And at least we're starting things off on the right foot for Zach Wilson. We have the weapons still in place. We've seen him link up for some big plays with Allen Lazard. We obviously see what Garrett Wilson can still do. Brees Hall came in as a monster immediately. Dalvin Cook, he will continue to get better. This offensive line, assuming we get rid of these cut blocks, didn't look absolutely terrible against Buffalo last week. And then, of course, the defense. The only real issue that people could have spoke about last year was the lack of turnovers. Even our run defense wasn't terrible. And for what our attacking scheme is like, I would say is actually pretty good. And so we've seen a culmination of all of the things essentially being well executed all at once for the defense. And if we can start getting some of these special teams plays thrown in there as well, then that's just less and less pressure that's going to be on Zach Wilson. But, you know, for those that still don't believe, I would just say to kind of sum everything up. You have a coaching staff that we trust, a quarterback that is talented, don't get me wrong. We love the escapability. He should theoretically be good in play action. And we've seen him clear up his issues with being able to hit targets in the backfield or at the line of scrimmage at the very least. So we're seeing tangible, strong improvements. We have the defense. We have the run game. We now have a special teams element to this team as well. And we'll take things week by week. To be honest, if we somehow find a way to beat the Cowboys this week, I won't be surprised if a million people are jumping right back on the bandwagon saying that New York is a legit team and the Jets will be at the very minimum reaching the playoffs. And we see plenty of others still saying that we are going to be strong contenders for winning the division crown still. So I don't know. Let me know where you guys are at with this. What would you say is the best reason for hope with Zach Wilson, whether that's something within his skill set or mentality you like, or if it's something you think this coaching staff can get out of him. And I'll catch you guys again. Peace.